Nittany, which means barrier against the wind, was an Indian maiden whose lover, Lion's Paw, was killed in battle. On the last night of the full moon, while his body was being laid to rest, a terrible storm arose, unleashing itself with terrible thunder and lightning from the depths of the earth. Every Indian in the valley shuddered, and all eyes were directed to the Indian brave's high grave. When dawn finally came, a huge mountain was found standing in the center of the valley.
My name is John Hook. I'm the president of the Mount Nittany Conservancy. The Conservancy was founded in 1981. That's the 30th year of existence this year. The Conservancy was formed for a very simple reason, and that is to conserve and manage the lands on and around Mount Nittany. And you go back 150 years. Williamsport, 60 miles due east of here, was the lumber capital of the world. But the reason that they were the lumber capital of the world is pretty much the entire northern central, and central part of the state of Pennsylvania was without trees because they all got cut down. As the trees, came back after that lumbering, that timbering era, it became clear that, it was kind of nice to have mountains with trees and things like that around. We currently manage a little over 700 acres above the 1,400-foot line on the westernmost ridge of the mountain. The back of our property abuts up to Rockview property. That's all state government property, and we've always kept in touch with them in case the state should ever be looking to, to get rid of that property.
Jeff Rackavan. My duties here at Rockview are public information officer, so back in the 1915-16 time frame, we were deeded a bunch of land, including the land that's on the Mount Nittany side, and it was to be used for, farming and forestry, which would aid the prison system and also teach the inmates a skill. As time has gone on and farming has become less of a viable industry, we've had less inmates available to work, so we've done less farming. We've sold off some of our lands to Penn State, Benner Township, the Fish Commission. So all those factors have combined to where we are now, where we do some farming. The Mount Nittany side is pretty much exclusively now our forestry program.
We do not have a toll booth there. We do not have a counter. We do not have a camera. We do not have any way of identifying how many people use the mountain in any given time period other than a box there at the trailhead. There is a information box there that has maps in it and brochures. And so the number of brochures that get taken is what we use as an indication of how much foot traffic we're getting. We're looking at about 75,000 people a year. And, there's 40,000 kids between the ages of 18 and 22 years old. And sometimes they want to go places and, do whatever they're going to do. We ask that there's no fires on the mountain, and, we do post that, and but, it's impossible to police it. Penn State University, there's a lot of youth in the area who are interested in getting involved in, charitable groups and things. And so we've got different fraternities and sororities and Circle K and, and the Adden Club and things like that who are willing to volunteer time and will lead a group of students up on the trails and do trail maintenance. We'll go up there, they take chainsaws up there, gas-powered chainsaws, and at different times of the year we have to actually clear, we clear brush on the trails. And that's probably 50% of the work that the Conservancy does is just keeping trails clean.
Here at Rocky, we are planting trees, harvesting trees, pruning trees, learning how to run chainsaws, learning how to run other forestry-related equipment, backhoes, backloaders, that type of thing. It's a forestry program / nursery program, so the inmates are being taught how to plant various trees, shrubs, landscaping, things like that. In the forestry program itself, they're taught how to fell a tree, climb the tree, start cutting the branches from the top, work their way down. So they're learning different skills that hopefully they can find employment when they get out here into the forestry program itself. 90% of the inmates that go through that forestry program and are released are finding jobs in a somewhat related field. So, that is certainly high enough for us to keep the program.
We look to add additional trails. In fact, we're looking right now working right now with Rockview to see if we can find a way that we could extend one of our trails, the backside of the Blue Trail, onto Rockview property and allow it to go a little bit further down the ridgeline, cross back over, and then come back to the Blue Trail that we currently have. The issue with that obviously is that we're now going over onto Rockview land, and they have some questions about how that might be done and what things they're doing with that land.
We've worked with different interest groups for different things. I'm not aware of the Conservancy contacting us to put a trail in, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't happen.
It's not a top priority for us because Rockview isn't going to develop that land anyway. So, if we have it or they have it, it's pretty much just going to stay in its natural state anyway.
When dawn finally came, a huge mountain was found standing in the center of the valley. Standing on its summit was a lion surrounded by 11 orphaned male cubs. From this day forward, every place in the valley was safe, and the wind wrested nothing from the fields on which these lions strode as fearless heroes from the mountain. The people of the valley from that date forward knew only happiness and bounteous plenty. In the fullness of time, men and women came from across the farthest seas to build a college at the foot of the mountain. The strength and courage of the students of this college became known far and wide. As each student learned the destructive power of the north wind across the fields, each also learned the strength of the princess known as Breaker of the Wind, called in her language Nittany, and the courage unto death of the Indian brave called Lion's Paw. As long as this strength and courage is known in the valley, Mount Nittany will stand as a breaker of the wind.